Testing, test. Testing, test. Testing. What the fuck? Testing. Hello. Ooh. Hello. I gotta fix that. Ooh. Test. Test. Hey, Dave.
What's going on? Are we doing a pre-interview or an actual show right now?
We're doing a pre-interview. Correct.
All right.
Yes.
Do you want to allow me to record also?
Yeah. Go on ahead.
You have to click the 3 dots on next to my mute button. If you put the mouse over me, 3 dots, they allow to record.
Okay. All right. 3 dots.
This says allow to record.
I have never done this part.
If you want, so move your mouse over my image.
Sure.
And then the mute and the 3 dots will show up in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, that's
definitely. And then you click the 3 dots and a little menu pops down.
I remember those 3 dots, but that's not showing up on mine.
Are you in speaker view or gallery view?
I'm currently in, it looks like I just got a Mac, so I'm adjusting to this.
It's all right. I'm on a Mac too. It's go to gallery view, and that way we're both the same size.
Okay.
And then put your mouse on me. It'll say mute, 3 dots. Click the 3 dots. Does that work?
It says mute, stop video, pin, make host, rename.
Just click make host. That'll work.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right. Good to go. Oops. Did I raise my hand? I want to raise my hand. We're good.
Okay. Yes. So I did not know that. That's definitely new for me to see that.
Yeah,
that's pretty,
no worries.
Cool. So Flat Earth Dave.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
I was a normal person. I still a normal person, I guess. Depends on what you call normal. And worked in corporate America, started my own business, doing really well. Discovered I was doing a podcast on conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
And then Flat Earth was introduced. I'm like, that's crazy. And then I tried to debunk it. And 6 years later, I'm the host of the Flat Earth podcast. I quit my own company to do this full time. I developed an app that helps people learn about Flat Earth and waking up millions of people. It's awesome.
So what did you do before you podcast?
I was in the solar power industry, and I started a commercial solar power development company that was doing super well, making more money than I ever thought I could make. I was the CEO of my own company, which was I put on my vision board like 5 years earlier. I was like, that's crazy. That's never going to happen. And then it happened.
That's
and
awesome.
Then I walked away from it all.
So when did you come in contact with the flat Earth theory, or understanding the world is flat?
Well, the way you become a flat earther is you try to prove the globe. And that's how you become a flat earther. I mean, when I first heard about it, I banned people from my social media for even being so stupid as to ask me to watch a 1-minute video. I'm like, you're an idiot. You don't deserve to watch my podcast or comment on any of our social media. So, but then another researcher, female, said, Dave, there's so much. I was talking about how much deception there was in the world. And she was like, oh,
that's true.
It's worse than that. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I think the earth is flat. And I'm like, not you too, Sophia. And she's like, here, just watch these videos and tell me what you think. And then I was like, okay, interesting, but I'm just going to prove it. I mean, there's a million proofs of the globe, and flat earth is the dumbest thing ever. 6 years later, I'm offering 100 Bitcoins if somebody could find me something dumber than the globe model. Anything. Like like, anything. There's nothing dumber than the globe model. Once you people that don't believe in flat earth, or belief is the enemy of knowing, but people, once you understand what the flat earth model isn't, and once you understand that you know nothing about the globe, then that's when you start going, huh? And then you start seeing things. For example, I assume you're a glober, right? No offense.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to ask you 3 simple questions about the globe.
Sure.
Okay. How many times does it rotate in 24 hours?
I would say at least almost once, not even.
Well, it's once, minus 4 seconds or something like that,
Yes. There
Okay,
you
so that's good. What is the circumference of the globe at the equator?
go. Ooh, I did used to know that, but I do not remember that now.
How far is the sun?
Another one I used to know, but I
So
can't
what I'm pointing out here, and then by the way, you got one right, so you did better than most people. Okay,
Mhm.
most people get their first question wrong. We have a couple guys going around the country and doing at flea markets. They have a booth and they offer $100 for anyone who can answer 3 simple questions about the globe that they're defending, and nobody has won the $100 in forever. So the concept of what you think flat Earth is, if I thought flat Earth was that, I'd be laughing at flat earthers. And I'm no offense to you. I was you. Everyone was you. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not picking you out because we've been programmed into believing flat Earth is something that it's not. We've been programmed to believe that Bill Nye, the lying guy with the bow tie, the failed comedian, and the failed actor Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever they say is gospel, right? But they'll never talk to us. They'll only do video after video after video, strawmanning us and saying nonsense. But they will never address our points because they can't, because it's the end. And the question is, why the lie? Why all this? This is the biggest lie ever? It's not the biggest lie ever. There's bigger ones, but this is the one that they control our minds with. They control our minds with cartoons. Cartoons.
Mm. I can see that. I
Yeah.
definitely have questions about that. Um, there's a lot of directions that I want to go here, and I don't know where to go at this part.
Well, here's how it goes. As I talk, you're going to have questions on top of questions on top of
Yeah.
questions. Just ask them one at a time and we'll wing through them. There's no question that you have that I haven't heard already. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for a new question, but they're the questions I had. The more questions you have, that's good. The more questions you ask, then you'll be like, oh, I never really thought about it that way. Like, how can it be? Wouldn't it be daylight all the time if the earth was flat? What's on the other side? How come no one's falling off the edge? How come no one's taking a picture of the edge? What about sticks and shadows? Didn't the Greeks figure it out 2,000 years ago? What about
Mhm.
boats over the horizon? What about seasons? And when you start looking into how all of these things happen, most of them prove the earth is a flat, non-rotating plane. And then you'll be like, oh, I never really thought about that.
What do people usually argue and say the earth is round or close to it being round, or like what is their comeback when you say no, it's flat? What do they say?
What I say, what's your number one reason that you think the earth is a globe? Let me ask you that question. What's your number one reason? Just one reason that you think the earth is a globe. Just one.
I would say it's my social upbringing to this very point. I've
So
seen
somebody
nothing.
told you.
Yes.
somebody told you. Did they show? When did they tell you? And did they show you anything other than cartoons to prove it?
Other than NASA videos, I would
NASA
say
videos. Like what
yes.
video from NASA?
Something similar to what you have right here floating in the background.
No, NASA doesn't. NASA show, yes, this is a balloon at 100,000 feet. They use balloon footage for
Yes.
their rocket videos. No
Mhm.
one's gone up in a rocket. It's all nonsense. It's all CGI. It's all blimps and all sorts of stuff. I mean, this is just watch this. This is real. This is what they put off as real. This was a SpaceX launch not too long ago, and this thing is supposedly going to blast. It's a test flight on how it's going to land. Look at this thing. This is not real. right? And look at the angle that it's being filmed at. It's kind of a side angle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how long could you have that side angle? The higher it goes. So look, the engines are burning out right there. Now look how high it is all of a sudden. It's interesting. And now look at it. Now it's going to free fall back to Earth. Now this thing is gigantic. It weighs 40,000 pounds empty. Okay.
Holy
And then
shit.
now, hold on, it's free falling. Now look at the smoke. Is that free falling? Is that 40,000 pounds free falling? Watch, it's going to go even slower. Watch the next shot. Okay. Look at the smoke now. It's barely moving, right? That's like, it's not even moving at all. It's just the smoke going off of it. Now look how high it is. This is what they showed us in real time.
Okay.
Okay. And now look, this is free falling. Now watch, 3 engines are going to go on. It's going to magically turn over. Oh, how'd it get so high again? Right. It's going to magically turn over. 2 of the engines are going to go out. This is going to be an impossible camera angle. Ready? Here it goes. Engines going on. Oh, it's going to rotate. Oh, look at this shot. Oh, that's very cinematic. Now watch. 2 of the 3 engines will go off because they can't even control their own little fireworks. The thing looks like it's on fire. It's barely moving. Look at the smoke. And it's going to land in a CGI smoke. Oh, there's a CGI smoke. That is clearly CGI smoke. And we're supposed to believe that this thing landed right where it took off from. This is portrayed as real.
Is this a combination of different countries that
No, this is SpaceX right here.
Okay.
Okay. This is nonsense. Here's different country. This is the only evidence that China landed a rover on Mars last month. Okay. This is what they showed us. That's it. Kenny, Cartman, and Kyle are laughing at this crap. All right. It's the same thing. Yay. High fives, hugs. It's all nonsense. And then when you look at what NASA shows, you know, like the space station, how about this? How come there's no land? I know what your answer is. Go ahead. How come there's no land?
No, honestly,
because they're over the ocean. That's what you should say. But actually, I'm showing you how easy it is to be fooled. We filmed this in our front yard with a solar panel. Okay. And NASA gets $64 million every single day. Okay. Amazing, right? I mean, this is insanity once you have the courage to look at it. If you look, NASA, what you're seeing here is the external tank of the space shuttle. You remember the big orange tank?
Yeah.
Thing's gigantic. It's the size of a blimp. You know why it's the size of a blimp? Because it is a blimp, right? Right. This is being filmed by the people that are in the shuttle on their way up to space. This thing is falling back to Earth. How is it falling back to Earth? It's going to burn up before it gets to those clouds. Now watch right here. A little handkerchief's going to blow by in a couple of seconds. Watch. That'll show you how fast this thing is moving. Oh, not very fast at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is filled with helium.
Okay.
This is a blimp. It might even be being filmed from below. I can't even tell. But there's also we catch them and they do real time editing where they blank things out. There's a recovery ship that's going to grab this thing, but you'll see it. It'll show up in the clouds real quick because they screwed up. But these guys are going up to space. This thing's falling thousands of miles an hour and it's going to burn up. How are they keeping it in focus? What kind of zoom lens do they have? How's this thing going sideways at 17,000 miles an hour while the spaceship's going up faster than 17,000 miles an hour?
So what I see here is you do have footage that show that there is there's some stuff, there's something going on. Do you think that NASA has made it to space at least once?
Space doesn't exist. Space is not what you think it is. Space, what we call space, is most likely water. Okay. There's waters above and waters below. Gaddafi discovered infinite water below the oceans and made the largest aquifer project in all of history. It took him 40 years. He was going to feed all of Africa, free farms and water and access. And then Hillary Clinton and Obama blew it up with depleted uranium bombs after 40 years. Greatest crime in humanity history.
Interesting. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's called the Great Man-Made River. Look it up. Great Man-Made River, DITRH. It's on my channel, DITRH.
Okay.
What I'm showing you here is the only proof that we landed a rover on Mars. a couple months ago. Bunch of kids fresh out of space camp in a control room, some crappy animation, people clapping, right? Do you know anything about parachutes? You know, when people have parachuted from great heights and the parachute won't even open until like 50, 60,000 feet
Yes.
because the air's not thick enough. Well, they say the air on Mars is 1% of the Earth's atmosphere. So that's be like parachuting from 150,000 feet. We can't even get a helium balloon over 120,000 feet. Right. So this thing is parachuting down in an atmosphere as thin as 150,000 feet here on Earth. And then in the rover, there's a helicopter that's going to fly around Mars. Have you heard about the helicopter?
No, I have not heard about the
They
helicopter.
got a helicopter and it's going to fly in that 1% atmosphere when we can't get a helicopter here to the top of Everest because the air is too thin. But they have one on Mars that can fly in 1% atmosphere. It's all nonsense. They make it so obvious because they don't want to break our free will. They want to give us the opportunity to see the truth. What's going on right now in the world and for a long time is an intelligence test, and most people are failing miserably.
That I do believe with the intelligence. We can probably relate that to, are you smarter than a fifth grader? But with this helicopter, is there anything different, or what you're telling
They
me?
say that the blades go faster. Well, why don't we have blades here on Earth that go faster so we can rescue people that are dying on top of Everest, you know?
Exactly. Yes.
Right? Right. And check this out. Here's a shot from what is this shot of? I'll explain it to you. First, this is a shot of the drone of its own shadow. It's looking straight down. So it had to take the shot at noon because they said the camera points straight down. So noon on Mars. Somehow they got I guess it's a really small planet or a fisheye lens, but how did it film the super fast blades? These are the propellers. How come they're so crisp and sharp? I have a drone. When it's spinning, when it's just idling, you can't see the blades.
True.
And if I took a picture with it with 1,000 speed shutter, it doesn't see the blades. It barely sees them, and they're a blur. Look at this.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
very good point.
And this is has super fast blades.
Mhm.
And what's up with these shadows? Look at this dark, crisp shadow. Show me a dark, crisp shadow of anything up in the air, 15 feet over the ground. The shadows disperse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot here that I want to hit. One, when you say that they're trying to control us. One, I know who, but I would like to understand for those who is trying to control us, and what are they trying to control us for, and what do you think the outcome is?
Well, they look at us as useless eaters. These people, I use that term lightly. They're slaves. You think they abolished slavery, but they didn't. They just put us in a prison that we don't see, and
Blind obedience.
yeah. So we don't see the walls, so we don't realize that we're slaves. It's like the Truman Show, where Truman's like, I want to be an explorer, and the teacher goes, oh, there's nothing left to explore. Well, if you live on a ball, there's really not much left to explore other than outer space. The only thing that's been to outer space is your imagination, and they've indoctrinated us. I asked you earlier, when did you learn about outer space, and did they show you anything other than cartoons? And the answer is before you can talk.
Mhm.
And no, they didn't show you anything but cartoons. But the people that run the world are a small group. The Council of Foreign Relations, United Nations, Bilderberg Group, Club of Rome, Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the Trilateral Commission. And there's a small group of corporations. There's only, I think, like 6 corporations that own all the other corporations, and they're all run by the same board of directors, pretty much. And all the people are all tied to this. These are the small group of people that run the world, and it's the banking families, and they control us with money. They control us with mind control. And, with all the nonsense going on in the world right now, why am I talking about flat Earth? And the answer is because if we ever get our freedom back, we're not going to keep it if we don't know who we are, where we are, or what we are, or the power of our own minds. They've taken that away from us, and they've taken it willingly. And I say we gave it to them willingly because they're telling us. They make things so obvious for us because they don't want to break our free will. They're like, oh, we kind of told them, they're idiots. And that's how they get away with it. That's that they draw that line. Good.
Mm-hmm. No, I really want to dissect that, but I want to save it for the show to preserve the authenticity between our conversation. But with the round table, are you referring to the levels of power? And if we were to look at who's really in control, I would definitely tell you the
It ain't
president.
Biden.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely is not him. It's one of the I would say the Rothschilds definitely have more than
There's
Biden.
people above the Rothschilds, names that we don't know, people that don't live where we live, where we understand our world is.
Mhm.
I mean, we live here in the Antarctic basin, but what's out here in the outer space? Maybe there's other continents out here in the outer space beyond Antarctica. This ring would be Antarctica. And so this is extra territory out there, extra terra.
Mhm.
Maybe they're extraterrestrials in the outer space. Who knows? This is a Japanese map. Fascinating. This is our world here. This is Antarctica, the shoreline of our world. And these are other continents out here in another ocean.
That's interesting. So we're looking almost at the globe, or as we know it. If we were to look at a map and see the globe for what it is,
There is no globe. They took our
or
map and they wrapped it around a sphere and
yes,
they warped everything. Go look. Do you have a globe in your house? Go look at the bottom of it. There's a sticker on it that says not for educational purposes, for entertainment only, for decorative purposes only. Fact.
yeah, I have seen that, and I wondered, like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Here, one quick thing, and then I got to go, and
Sure.
and we'll go. The helio nonsensical BS model is absolutely insane, right? They tell us that we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, let alone chasing the sun with all of the other planets, stars, and moon, all other planets and moons, all synchronistically chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. You can't fathom what that is. This is the hypersonic sled. Watch it carefully. It's going to come by in 2 seconds. Okay. And it's going Mach 8.6. Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
That was really fucking
Did you
fast.
really see it? If you hear it, it's mind blowing. Just watch one more time. There it goes. We're orbiting 10 times faster than that. And we're chasing the sun 90 times faster than that. Okay. But somehow in all of these elliptical orbits, speeding up and slowing down at these hypersonic speeds, we have lakes that look like this. We're not moving. Earth is flat. And until people realize that we're going to be stuck in their banking system, in their control system. If everybody woke up to the fact that the earth was flat tomorrow and said, you know what? I don't believe anything you do. And you guys are the banks. We're out. We're using our own cryptocurrency. Game over. We've taken over the world. The elite are nobody. We don't even know who they are anymore. That's how fast it would change. But people are addicted to their money that they controls with. It's just literally mind control. So that's where we're at.
This
good.
Yes, this is great information, and I can't wait to prep very deeply to have a good recording.
Download my app, start watching the videos, and then you'll be a flat earther before we do our interview.
All right. I will.
All right.
All right. You take
care.
care.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep. I'll send you a link.
See ya. Wait, no. You got to book it. You have to book it using my link. I'll email you. I'll email you my link. The schedule is a little tough. So if you like mornings, you'll be able to find a spot. So
okay, perfect.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.